Good morning, folks, and welcome to today's live show. This is the time right now. This is the last moments where you can get the course for 80% off, the full technical course down there before you have to pay way more next week. You might as well look at that and see if it's the right fit for you. But today we have a lot to pay attention to. PCE data, I don't think the data really came out too worrisome. The interesting thing is personal spending going kind of saying I'm taking a breather, while income still actually remaining very, very resilient there. So very nice. But that will be potential like, hey, people need to spend for us to keep growing. Maybe reading into it too much. I just figured this would be an excuse to potentially sell the market down just a little bit. But good morning. It looks like a decision kind of day. Depending on what price does today can help you decide whether or not you want to attempt to start to buy for some kind of summer rally that could be coming. And I think that's very, very interesting to me. I'm trying to be as patient with it as possible because we are at risk of seeing just a 2 hour cross down and confirm with your signals that we are going to get, or highly probable to get, some kind of daily pullback. So I think as this is potential in this area, it is saying, hey, I might need to take on some risk, but maybe not a huge amount if I do see things curl up. So I'm going to tell you guys some critical areas I'm paying attention to. One, if we make a new low today, we know that that is the way lower, but that is going to be very, very dramatic. So that would have to see something ugly to happen. Right now, it is much more likely to come back into this area and be able to scoop back up. So even if the 2 hour does confirm a bar down, we'll be looking for if that 30 minutes starts to rotate up right away. And then hopefully we can close out this week pretty strong. I think we could see downward trend for most of the day, if I'm not mistaken with my analysis. I believe we see overall like this thing trailing down, maybe some hiccup moments where it kind of, dies things out. Maybe it comes down to this level, towards the middle of the afternoon, late afternoon, and then we start to ramp up, possibly into that close where they could make things at, say, an hour before the close, aka power hour. We could see a ramp up to make it like, okay, now we're just not going to pay out any of those puts. So it will be a very interesting time. We have to see how the morning shapes up for us, see how that 2 hour bar shapes up for us this morning. But for now, things are still in that bullish tilt. And if we're able to break through what? Well, the Qs, actually. If you're able to break through this high for the Qs, it's a pretty set thing like, hey, we are going to attempt to make a new all-time high here for some kind of squeeze. And that would be the squeeze that could go all the way into June 20th. So I don't know exactly how high we could go with that squeeze. I would just say a test of this high towards 539 or see something right above it would be insane. And then we'll have a whole new zone to be able to use to head up, and we don't have to revisit these levels, even though I think there are some risks of seeing those levels maybe tested in August to October, that little window there. So we'll be watching for it. Yeah, it means we might extend this move instead of getting the daily pullback, but the Qs still have 2 hour divergence. So you want to be watching this very, very closely, right? 2 hour divergence is suggesting that we are going to turn down early on in June. So just be aware of that. Okay. If we don't see that 30-minute curl up and be able to go positive, but even maybe rotate back down, that can be a bad thing. So we'll have to find out with these type of areas. Very, very good stuff. VIX trying to pop off, but kind of lackluster. Trying, but always seems to be a little bit worse for wear here for these volatility pushes. You are getting those little spikes in volatility, though, that VIXpiration really likes. And we'll have this looming gap above. That's something I think we might take care of sometime starting in July, probably like mid-July. If everything goes well here, right? We have to make sure everything goes well today because you could easily go fill that gap right now if you just get the daily pullback. End of day, nice squeeze for sure. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Around 2 p.m. is my guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I would say power hour wherever you're at. I think power hour sounds right. Like maybe right before power hour begins, you start to see that thing base out. But we have to see, right? We haven't seen any of that price action yet. We can flip-flop if we need to. But for now, it seems like a little bit of a downtrend, maybe at least to get to this wick or the daily expected move. If you wanted a measurement, well, this is the measurement for where we could really go to if it's an equal move, like 583.42. So I think that's super interesting. We'll have to find out. Squeeze or crash? Well, either way, this ends in a squeeze. It's just, do we get the daily pullback first? That looks like a crash. It might look like a crash. Yeah, you got a small selling man go away. The question is, do you get a big one to shake everyone out before we squeeze? Crash, crash, crash. It ends in a squeeze. Every scenario ends with an upward move, right? Every scenario ends with an upward move. Every scenario ends with an upward move, right? I don't know why that drew like that. My bad. And then every scenario, even this one ends with a squeeze. So it's just, when do I want to take that, right? That's going to be the individual decision. I think I might make some of that decision today. Hope you had a good week. Hope you did too, Nels. Concentrate on daughter's 5th birthday. Hey, congratulations. Congratulations, Nogs. That is awesome. Congratulations. Pre-K graduation? Hell yeah. Congratulations. Hey, enjoy that life, right, Nels? Oh, I love it, dude. Couldn't be happier for you, my man. That's better than a good trade, isn't it? Just being kind of risk free, just not worrying about anything. Hey, Tim, thank you for the $2. I didn't see you, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for the nuts. Yeah, so as far as price action goes, Jake, the pre-market levels and the little post ones, like these after session, maybe this is because the market is turning, way more into like, off the lit exchange, right? We saw those percentages get higher in the dark pools and off exchange. And even here, you have like 30-minute divergence that's possible. If you curl up a 30-minute right away in the early stages of the day, that could be an interesting thing. And then if you're doing price action on a 5-minute here, you're going, okay, there's a gap right here. So right here is where we could potentially tag and start to roll that. But yes, I've been looking at this more and more lately as far as price action goes. As far as price action goes, I've been looking at it a lot. So we'll talk about these things as it develops, because I have to give it time for me to really analyze these kinds of things and say whether or not I think it's truly helpful. But the extended hours with price action lately has been pretty damn important. And we see that from this moment right here. This is just one of those examples. Boom, there's your retest. You already got it, right? You got the breakout, you got the retest, you go, right? So that's what I think is very interesting. I'll look into it further. For now, I keep things the same, right? For now, I keep things the same until I have enough time to really dictate, like, yeah, that can actually advance or help out my trading. Okay? So I'll keep an eye on it, though, and keep bringing it up, okay? Hadn't been listening in a couple weeks. You have the right life trading mentality. Exactly. You don't live to trade. You trade to live. And if you learn how to trade to live well, then you can live more than you can trade. And that's the point. Appreciate it, Jake. What's up with this taco, BS? I don't know. I keep seeing taco everywhere. Yeah, I was also looking at the Netflix thing. I don't know what Netflix does during this time frame, but this is that big retest. So if you're scared of the play at all, this says retest and head lower, but if it makes a new high, it's going to be a sketchy one. Make sure to be paying attention to those plans for if it goes wrong, right? All right, as of right now, we are getting that straight rejection. AMC popping up. Okay, cool. Looks like spike gonna run all day to me. 594 would be a good close. I think downward first, then we see the ramp up into the end of the day. I don't know if you see 594 with this type of stance yet, right? Not yet. We'll see if that changes. 586 on SPY would be the open for the weekly. Oh, right here. Sorry, 586. Yes, you are correct. I know, but wouldn't this be interesting? Like, all these people in here, take out all that, just take it all out, and then say we're heading down, and then just go up. I think it'd be super cool. Yeah, it's kind of like you're swiping out all of the bullishness from this week. You're saying, we're gonna give it all back to people this week, but then we can run. Or you could say, hey, we're gonna give it back for all of this month, and then go up. You could say, I'm gonna take out everyone who was a part of all of this, and then we're gonna run it. See who's real confident in that bullishness. For now, seeing it break down. There's just some really risky looks out there. So the only answer to this is you have to squeeze. There's really risky looks like all across the board here. So 30-minute continues for Nvidia, that would be nice. Come down into the gap maybe, but you just have a lot of those type of looks. That's like, ooh, this is risky. We need to see upside. Bull's getting to that level that we mentioned. Not gonna lie. Don't usually remember because I look at like 50 stocks a day, 10, 20 million stocks a day. Get down to that 12. Pretty much like 12, 1187. Yeah, get down there, dude. I don't see a problem here, really. It's like this is going to be it's going to be an accumulative stock. Like if you really wanted to talk about it too, it can go all the way down to $10. It's just this is more where you're accumulating at low levels, and then 5 years from now, like I always call it future Luke. Like I always say that to my wife. I'm like, past Luke really screwed over future Luke here, or something like that. Like if I have to do dishes the next day, present Luke's like, hell yeah, I don't have to do dishes, and I always say like, sorry, future Luke. Um, this is kind of one of those where it's like, okay, right now, present Luke would buy this and be like, I don't know about this. Like, this is going to be rough. But then future Luke in like a year or two is going to be like, oh, thanks. It went up to $40. If they wipe out the 580s, that would be crazy. 580 would be crazy. You have to see like a wick from that level. This is worrisome. I don't think you want to see that, man. If you see that, you want to see like bink and just go. Like I don't think you want to see too much in that area. What's that? VIX is positive. That's true. That's what I'm saying. I still see like, oof, this should be down. We should end up at the downward daily expected move, like before. I would say before power hour. Like if this is going to be that kind of tricky point here. Dell getting a nice rip. What's Dell doing? I like that level for Bull. I really do. AMC options just went insane again. Dell with the rip. Wow, stuck between the buyers and sellers. 30-minute divergence there. 2-hour chart. 2-hour curling up right now. Here you go. Holy crap, that's going to run. Look out for 122.40. Holy crap, that's going to run, dude. Oh, it's on earnings. Shit. Never mind. Scratch it. Anything can happen there. Scratch it. Scratch it. That's not it. Yeah, VIX is still just trying to come off. This could grind all day long. Oh my god, we're like most like for some reason I see theta burn with a couple of dips. Like theta burn with a couple of dips. How's IWM looking? I think IWM's in the best spot possible. Like genuinely. I think IWM is doing everything that you want the SPY and the Qs to be doing, but IWM's doing it. So I really like IWM. I really do. I actually have been thinking about playing IWM and not the SPY because look at the room it would have if it actually like ran. You're talking about 230 is possible here. Like 230. I mean, I'll create a zone, but you see where I'm watching. We'll use the whole thing. So right here, 222.60. That'd be so sick. Like, do you see this? Oh, just ramp it just for another leg. Like, you see this leg right here? You just go again. Oh. Oh, God, yes. Come on. I hope so, man. I freaking hope so. Yo, and if this goes to the bottom first, Oh, maybe I'm gonna do some IWM with the SPY. Maybe I'll do some IWM with it. But we did reject off the center, so watch for the rolls. You're getting the rolls here. SPY's trying to give you the roll right now. So I'm not taking like daily pullback off the table. We still got to watch today's price action, but my goodness. Can we look at GME? Yeah, we can look at GME. GME needs to go. It's negative now. You have a clear pathway like down, like lower. You see that $33? You see that 33? That's exactly where price action would want to reject from. It would want to fake you out. This is exactly where price action could literally get to, and if buyers don't step in here, it could go down lower. But GME on the 2-hour scale, still positive. So if you get a ripping roar kind of thing here and you go like this, you cross through that $3. Hey, dip all you want, baby. Dip all you want, baby. You took it out. So GME's in a crazy spot. I mean, I did sell AMC positions when I saw this big breakdown bar. You know where I rebought it? Right there. Extended out my time, right? The options got cheaper again. They were worth like, shit, options were worth like, the furthest out option was now like 25 cents or something. So I sold it at like 20 cents because I bought it for like 5 cents or 4 cents. And then I just go, okay, cool, I'm gonna take that. And then I go down here, and now an option like a month out was like 12 or 15 cents here, and now it's only 8 cents. So I go, oh, okay, I can buy myself some time with that 8 cents for a long period of time. Yeah, that's how I like to do AMC. Like with the options, I like to put risk on, take risk off pretty quickly. Just holding on to the stock, though, is much better, right? That's something I don't really care. I just hold it. It looks like GME needs to do a lot of work, though. That 30 minutes negative. You need like a boom. You need a boom. I don't think, Richard, I don't think we got that that max volume yesterday. I don't think we got that max volume. RGTI, very, very good one. Dropping off like a rock here. You see that lower high. You see the rock. Going down into buyers. Weirdly enough, like weirdly enough, for something like RGTI, one, sell zone. Awesome. Glad we found that. That's not our normal boxes. We can get rid of that because we're talking about different boxes these days. What you're paying attention to now is one, this low, but also all this low and all this high, because you have a lot of price action in there. If you just see a lot of price action, look for their support, look for the highest support, or the lowest support, the highest resistance, and just be like, all right, cool, got that marked off. What are we doing here? Well, then I can use my price action stuff and say, hey, that's a big ass green bar. We're probably tapping into those buyers. We're tapping into the top of a zone that we completely made, went to the bottom, and then broke out from. We come back into that type of area. That would be fantastic, right? This says, look for me to turn around, weirdly enough. Now, it might not turn around right now, right this second, but RGTI could end up doing this, right? Come up, fill that gap for a sec, then roll it again, dink into that center, and then you see this as we start to do the bullish things. Yeah, I don't mind this. I just want to take a quick peek at the daily chart. Yeah, look for the daily roll. So where does this become bearish? Well, you look at your 2-hour chart and you say, well, where was the last meaningful, like definite signaling low? It's right here. So where does this become bearish? We lose the zone. Lose the zone, come back up, retest, you end up down towards, yeah, about 878. And that could still be what? Pullback. You had a massive move. So that could still be a daily pullback to curl back up. But I just wouldn't sleep on the fact that you're in a bullish stance right now. It's just the 30 minutes a little negative. 2 hours still good, so see what happens in the top side of this zone first. If you break the bottom, things change. If you don't break the bottom, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. It can be bullish at any moment in this area. You just got to see those 3 to 5 reasons now. You're there. You're in the area where you should be paying attention. Now you need the 3 to 5 reasons. Make a decision, right? That's what helps you make the decision, the reasons. I don't have time to go through that right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the SPY and IWM now. Wow, AMC. Come on. AMC, you include the extended hours, you have divergence. Trying to find something positive. No, you need the 2 hour to go. You need this to just go. It needs to break through all these sellers too. That's why I'm like buying the position lower than these sellers at least. Because we got to break through those. If I see us reject from here, I can just get back out. GME with a nice 1% move up. I believe this one had an argument here. Maybe not. This one just needs to break that high and get through $33 again. Really, the best way for this to go is do that today. It's the end of the month, so do that today. Like, just scream today. If you don't, you have the risk of going, or even, you need to, like, close there. You can just roll this again. There's another gap below you. There's a whole nother level of buyers down here. There's a lot of problems, so you want to go. So it's trying. Look at that, 1.68. It's trying. It needs to curl up and go positive. And then the 2 hour needs to just go. So you want a higher low here from the 30-minute for GME. That's what I can see. 35 for a bounce next week for Nvidia. I have Nvidia going to where the hell was it? It's in here. I'm not including the low this time. I'll include this wick because that's the beginning of the week, right? That's the beginning of the week, correct? Yeah. Well, no, that's down here. That was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's still here. I would mark the high and say, where's it going? Gap fill. Gap fill turnaround. You could peek your head down to these areas. But even if you see a wick here, you got to be aware if that rolls. But it would say, hey, yeah, take the cheap price and then wait and see if it rolls. If you see it physically roll, that would be bad. The 2 hour would suggest that, but you'd rather see like all of this given up than you roll to make it very obvious. So what you're looking for here is the 30-minute to see a drop. You want to see the 30-minute drop to here and just go up, or 30-minute drop to here, kind of fool around, maybe diddle down to here for a second, and then curl up at the end of the day aggressively. Or else we're heading down. And I think these 2 hour signals are what you're watching today. I think you're watching this like a hawk this morning. If they really want no chance of turning down, they should actually rocket this thing right now. Yeah, AMC is going to be bearish below all of this. I'll mark it off for you. You want me to mark it off? It's all of this. It needs to take all of this back. That whole area there. Let me get rid of the booty cheeks. Yeah, that's why I make moves up here. That's why I usually have 2 separate things going, right? I have shares and contracts, so I can move the contracts around how I would like, turn 500 into 2,000 really quickly, and then I can just redo it again at lower levels. You know, if I see it break down. I always wait to see it break down, by the way. I don't just sell up here. I wait to see it break down aggressively, and then I go, okay, is it still worth something? Are people holding on to it? Okay, I'll get rid of it. Then they'll get rid of it at lower levels, and then I'll buy it back. Yeah, you got to break through all of this. All of that. That's a lot. GME, you want the thing for that. You got to break through like all of this, and you've already tested that level once, and you failed hard. So you have to break through all of that to be bullish. Like, truly to be bullish again, you got to at least take all this back and beat the bar. Like, it's not a good look right now, but the 2 hour is saying like, hey, I'm going to set up a higher low, which means what? I'm going to try to break through those. Try to break through. I'm down. I'm down. You got earnings, what, like next week or some shit? Do good stuff. Let me get rid of them booty cheeks. Any thoughts on AMD? Levels for AMD. I'm still looking at this, by the way, 105. You would rather have a higher low. So notice that these individual names are doing what? They're filling this gap. These individual names are filling this gap. So what do you look for here? Well, the 2 hours confirmed and said, I'm a lower high. So watch if I break this low. So what is the management for risk, right? What do we teach you in the course? The course that's 80% off right now, literally for just this weekend, is over. What is this overall saying here? This is saying a 2-hour is confirming down, and we should see a new low. That's what this is saying, according to your technicals. So when do you know that those technicals are going wrong? Why do I use multiple time frames? If the 30-minute is within range at all, really, of that center line, and I'm worried about a squeeze here, and price action holds up after we fill a gap, I'm still worried that this could happen. So if the 30-minute curls up today, I'm no longer short, right? Unless I see that break this low. If I see it break this low, I can still see that retest probably into this gap. Then we go down, right? And around here, we'll have to see if that retest fails or doesn't, right? That's about it. AMD could be a potential very good opportunity, but you see the daily pullback that could be happening here. Where could the daily pullback go all the way down to? The daily pullback can take you all the way down to 94.74. So this is why you want to be very aware if this low is broken today. Okay? So the management here would be the 2-hour has confirmed down. I'm saying this is going to reverse trend. I could even take a trade possibly down to something like 105. What is this also saying though? If I hold up above this low and curl up a 30-minute, that trade is highly probable not to work out. But if I can break that low first, then that trade is very likely to work out. Okay? Very good. I like it. Way to ask about AMD. I think that's a very good one to watch because it never made pathway higher either. Like price action here is still suggesting we could go down. Like down to 105. A lot of puts coming into the market as of right now. A lot of puts coming in. So people getting kind of bared up right now. So it would say, you know, this is the time where you go, puts on AMD is the opportunity, but if the 30-minute rolls back up, my management for the trade has to be in. I have to be willing to manage my trade. News at the full hour. Great explanation. I have the horse, by the way, but it helps to talk about. No, it's fine, Robert. That happens all the time. You'll learn something in the course. You'll think you know everything about it, and then you'll see it actually like. So seeing it when the price action is there versus reading into it while the price action is not there are two completely different things. You can be good at this and suck at this. You can be good at this and suck at trading. But if you're not good at seeing it like forming in front of you, that's where your skills are unlocked. And that means what? Well, you're going to feel like you're assuming some risk a lot of the time. You have to learn to assume risk in order to be a good trader. If the 2-hour confirms down and I have my 5 reasons, I say go. If those 5 reasons start to dwindle away, I say get out, right? But if they continue to do the things I need to see because of my skills and I can read into what I want to see here and they never violate my plan, get down to the level I want you to get down to, you know? Because this is a worrisome time. And you see, why do you look at this? It's a worrisome time right now. The 2 hours trying to confirm down right now. And look, people are worried. People are real worried. But are people over dramatic about this right now? Do you think that shorting would escalate down at these levels? Do you think that they would get people shaken out of their calls before a big move up? Do they want to shake people out more than we expect? Well, for today, we would say that's not even close to on the table for today. Not even close. Let's look at our second standard Devs, right? 578.79. Look at that. 578.79. That says right here, pretty much gap fill. That's your 95% line in the sand. So is this low being broken on the table? Yeah, but it's on 5% of the table. And that's going to be hard with my little T-Rex arms to reach, right? It's like, I'm trying to reach for that 5%. I might not be able to get it. What's much easier in front of me? Oh, yeah, 584. 584 is right in front of me. 584 is the steak dinner, right? You know what 580 is? 580 is the dessert. That's what I think. Like I said, the most likely scenario here is we're going to turn down as bait, and then we're going to see it whip back up. That's the most likely scenario here. We'll see. That's scenario number 2, right? Last time our most likely scenario played out was right here. Last time our like most likely scenario we were a little bit scared of right here. Bam. We were right. Now let's see if we're going to be right again with our scenario number 2 being the highly probable scenario at this point. And we're seeing people get nice and bared up. This is perfect. You left a gap above. Good little, see this? This is your retest, actually. This is a retest right there. That right there is a retest. It can be real quick. Usually it's either really quick or really slow. There's usually no in between. It's usually like right away, or it's like, okay. It takes a while. So very nice. Tapping into the zone, tapping into those buyers once again. I will pull this up from time to time here because that wick is going to be huge. Huge. So we know there's kind of a wick here. We're going to have to bust through all of that. 30-minute trying to go negative right now. Like all of this with your like technical analysis, you have what you have in front of you here. I'll tell you that. This is how you put it. What you have in front of you here is a disagreement between technicals and price action. Technicals are saying we need a daily pullback. But the price action is saying we still want to go up. And so what you're trying to figure out today is who's right. And maybe that even leaks into Monday. I don't think we're like safe from some kind of weekend something. And you would just say, okay, but by the end of today, who seems to be the most right? Because that's probably whose side I want to be on and give myself plenty of time to execute on that trade. And that's it. That is it. That's all you're figuring out. You have a disagreement right now is how I see it. That's why it's so confusing. I feel like IWM is good. I really like this IWM play. I really like if I can get 203. Actually, I'll give you a daily move for IWM if you would like it. If you're not a part of Patreon members don't get mad at me, but 203.24. Literally 203 would be spot on. Like spot on. Oh, it'd be so nice. I want one more dip. I think we dip closer to at least the afternoon. Just people got bared up really fast. So hopefully that bearishness, they think they're winning for a while. That would be nice. What do you guys think? Let's see. Oh, sorry. How is price action saying we want to go up? Because you're in positive trend. Like, see, why is price action saying we want to go up? Boom. Okay, we want to go down. We want to go down. Boom. Cross through. We got that retest in the extended hours. Then we go up. We take out all the sellers. Then we go up again saying we kind of want to go higher, right? We fill gap. We peek our head above it. And we go, we kind of want to go higher, but we need to dip down first. And then we create all this congestion in here saying a big ass move is coming. And then what do? We see that maybe distributed out, or see it distributed out. There's a lot of pressure in here right now building. You have not made the low to show you like, hey, this is bad. You haven't seen it. You want price action to start to be like bearish? You need to see like at least some kind of move up to these sellers and fail. That would be overall like bearish, right? Or you need to dictate a new low, right? Because the only way you go bearish is if you take this out. So price action, all of the price action here is saying up, right? It will, like, that's the period of time where you're trying to figure out, is it ever going to say down? I don't think it's saying down here at all yet. If it's going to, we'll see it, but we don't see it right now. Price action is the same. Like, it's like the same as right here, right? Here, didn't we have signals that suggest we could get a daily pullback? We did, right? And then we got to here. And then we did this. Wham. Because price action remained bullish. If you can't break it down, then you're probably just going to keep doing what you're doing. And so now, dip, dip, cross up, see something bearish, right? See something bearish, different form, lower high versus divergence. Consolidate, bundle, 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 big move, bundle, 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 big gap, bundle, bundle, bundle. Which way are we going though? Right? Right now, the price action would suggest don't be bearish, and that's it. You can see something bearish, and that's why you want plenty of time with the options. I just want one tag of like, oh, 580 would be so nice. You have no idea. Yeah, price action is bullish. You cannot disagree with that. Now, your 2-hour could suggest something a little bit different, like it's trying to dictate that high now. You're having, like I said, you're having that disagreement right now. Spite of 300, dude, please, for all of us, let's all get, let's put that cash to work, dog. 305 starting to play out. Damn, you took it for like today. That's crazy, Dave. Good luck, man. I hope it works out, bro. How are people not short? They are going short right now. You're literally seeing puts increase. And those spikes in volatility are people hedging. So there is some like hesitancy and some people who want to now FOMO short, like we're going to dump here. I think that they're following things correctly. Like if you're talking about TA, they're following it correctly. But this is why we're utilizing price action for the last like month and a half. Right? This is the whole reason, because you can sit here and say it's going to crash, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. But if you don't see price action follow the technicals, then it's not going to break down. It's just, and if it curls up, it's like then it goes against your technicals and you're sitting there going, oh, but it's still going to follow down, follow down. Oh, nope, the price action's bullish. Like Palantir, I was looking at Palantir today and I was like, is this really that bad? Look how many higher lows you do have here. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Have we seen that change? No. Palantir is still doing it. That's what I think is crazy. Like, it's starting to get tight, right? We're going to see a big move. And you have to say, where's that big move going to go? If you see this 2-hour curl up and start making new highs here, then that big move is most likely where? To the upside. Probably to a monthly expected move next month. I mean, if you look how much you've built here. You're building, building, building. Palantir could see something aggressive. Like, that's the crazy part. Now, why are we talking like this about Palantir? Well, because originally it showed you something bearish, and then it snapped back to just say, nope, we're back on the bull. Back on the bull. You're in that in-between, like, hey, I think we're back on the bull. Then you come in and we say, all right, you're going to react down in this zone. We react down in this zone. And then what do? We keep touching it, touching it, touching it, but we don't make a new low. That's kind of crazy. So even price action agrees with Palantir here. Watching for a new high is the most important thing. Yeah, so Palantir looks kind of bullish. think you get that 30-minute curl up now. If we get, I don't want to see that. This is the one thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see us do this very quickly and then see that ripped away. Like, I don't want to see a 30-minute divergence here at all, because then it just adds up to too much risk. Like, if we just create the 30, I'm saying confirm it today. Like, you would have to swing up quickly and then swing down. Robin would flag you. Yeah, that is going to fuck people up on their options. Like, if you were day trade, actually, if you're day trading it, maybe. But if you had like a 2-week option on Palantir and you needed to see that move like quicker, like you were emotionally not prepared for that, like just burning for a little while, and you're just losing like, I don't know, 2% a day, and you're to the point now where Palantir's made you lose like what, 10%, 15%, 20%, you might be feeling a type of way. Yeah, is that Robinhood, that like you can't trade type of BS? Yeah, cash account probably just makes it so like if you're paying attention to your position size, you should never run into like that, because I think cash accounts take like 3 business days to come through. So you don't want to use all the cash all the time, but whoa, AMC, my calls are up 370%. Let's go, dude. I don't even think that's doing anything. It's up 0.8, 0.9. Yeah, okay. People are really like buying it, but you haven't seen it go back to the full like weekend squeeze mode yet. Based on price action, it is fair to say that for Nvidia be actually bearish and short worthy. So for price action on Nvidia, you're actually still bullish. Like, look at the just don't even think like what's the way to put it? Your indicators are going to more say bearish things first, and look at your indicator. The first thing you should do is see if your indicator is negative or positive. It's positive. See if it has divergence. It has no divergence. Okay, so this is bullish, right? Like, we understand this is bullish trend. We understand this crossed the center line, but when that crosses back up, it's good. Price action wise, 30-minute, you're dipping down in this area. The thing that is bearish on the technical side is the reversal signal that is trying to confirm today. This. If this 2-hour confirms, then your technicals are saying we can break down. Pay attention to price action and your management for the trade, but this is saying we can break down, like through this low down. The problem here is you don't even have confirmation from the 2-hour. You only have it from the RSI, and you only have a 35-minute bar right now below that 9. So right now you're like, okay, if the 30-minute does what, then it's back on the bull. Just curls up. And I think it's going to take its time with it. I think you're going to take your time with it. Right? See this towards like maybe like 2 hours before. Just see that. And then you start going. We'll have to see. Right now, you're trying to just flip it now. I don't think I want to see it flip now. I want people bared up for most of the day. Yeah, don't think something's bearish until it's actually bearish. That's the way to put it. This is your by the way, the 2-hour confirming a lower high in these type of scenarios when the price action is holding up. What you always want to treat divergence as, and what you always want to treat a lower high as, right? When you're trying to, is doing what? Trying to reverse the trend to down. You're trying to get a daily pullback. You're trying to reverse the 2-hour trend down. Make a downtrend, right? But you haven't made the downtrend yet. Do you understand? Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's your hint. And that's our reasons for taking trades, right? But we still have to watch our management for risk. That's it. Like that's it in a nutshell. Hey, I'm seeing something that is a contrarian bearish signal. The price action looks good. I haven't seen it break down below this low, but I'm getting a contrarian bear signal. in a super bullish time. That's all you think about. You go, okay, it's a contrarian signal. So I should expect to have to pay attention to how I would manage that trade. The time for actual puts is technically this time because you've broken a low and this is going to look juicy to short. But have you really broken down or are you just consolidating? You're consolidating. So if you're in this trade, right? Well, one, you're in a little bit early. You could say maybe like here, right? Say I'm in puts. Okay. Say I'm a month out. Okay, I'm not losing a bunch of value. I'm break even. Okay, awesome. But what do I want to see for those puts to be valuable like next week? Well, you want to see by next week something like this, right? And then like this, and then this. And then the trade's done. The problem is people don't want to manage risk. This is the hardest part about the market is understanding you are wrong, right? How are you wrong here for at least for a little bit today? The 30-minute confirms up. If the 30-minute confirms up, and that means what? We go that way. We're still positive. So if this 30-minute curls up, there's no reason to short. Now, if the 30-minute would go up and then fail, and you see it come back down, that would maybe be a reason to take a little short, right? Because that's multiple indicators saying, hey, we need to go down now, right? But I still treat it as a contrarian bearish signal. I'm addicted to options like crack. I think it would be interesting for this to squeeze all day. Of course I hit my mouse. All right, fix it. All right, we're back. Do this real quick. Yeah, so I want to give this till like, I want to give it another like, at least another like hour and a half before I have to make a decision. But great morning. Why has RGC and SBET been going up? I haven't seen a lot of people talking about SBET. Let's talk about that one at least. Sharp link. Why are people talking about it? Because it's at a high. And right when everyone's talking about it, it's going to pull back. Weirdly enough, the better level to go to for a 30-minute pullback, because that's all you're really looking for, a 30-minute pullback is right in here. Right around this level, you want to look for those little signs that the 30-minute can do what? Ramp back up. As of right now, you have to look very closely and see that the 5-minute can just continue the move. So the 5-minute literally has done what it needs to do now. It's saying, hey, I want to reverse the trend, see if it does, breaks here. If it breaks here, then I'd be looking right there. And I'd see if it shapes up, right? Just because there's a line there doesn't mean I just blind buy. I look what shapes up there. If I go down, we do this, and then I see divergence, okay. If I see down and we go up, we retest, I say, okay, I'm in, right? Those are short-term trades, though. You don't have a lot of price action there. RGC, same thing. I'm attracted to here and here. Here would be crazy. These two levels, very, very nice. So you don't think they're like daily moves or something like that. Very nice. For now, though, 5 minutes doing what? It's just continuing the move. So on the 5-minute, day traders would love this stock, right? Come down into here, turn up again, then fail, then go like this, then come down to this type of area. Yeah, you got to watch this gap too, in case you find support there. So what you're looking for here is a 5-minute downtrend to kind of be like, okay, we're going to go down. And then I'd be looking at 570, 567, but it's already seen a big run, so that's why you're looking at it. It's very obvious. Oh, we haven't taken care of that gap yet, too. Resistance all in there. Yeah, it's just you can't be, looking at stocks up here, right? Buy low, sell high. So what would I be saying about those? Sell them. That's what I'd be saying. I'd be like, all right, make some money, leave runners. Oh, I know that. I get that. I know heel toe. I know you're not like suggesting like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy high. You might, it's up to you, but create a nice pathway up here for a bit. 362 for reversal. I don't know if you get reversal, my dude. Ah, never mind. Perfect. Right off of looks like, is that the monthly move? AMC bouncing off of the top side monthly expected move. You will close outside of a monthly expected move. You do not see that very often for AMC. Watch for it to try to close below 337, but wow. It's going right up into the sellers right now. You need to take those guys out. You need to close above 362. Yeah, you need to get above that. You left behind a little 30-minute gap too. Oof. Ah! Just hard because there's a gap. 5-minute confirming up. Wow. Oh no. I'm gonna go pee on this real quick. Not like on my computer, but I'm gonna think about it while peeing. Be right back. Alrighty. I don't know if I want that 30 minutes to confirm up early, but people got bared up. Hey, AMC's trying. What's GME doing? GME's got a lot of work to do. You're talking 3290, 10%. I mean, I guess AMC pretty much had like 10% too. Yeah, I don't know, 6, 7%. You got to do a lot of work there though. I think even I think the last like 2 years we've just seen the SPY be completely manipulated the whole time. I think you've always been in a manipulated market. It's just that's the game you're playing. That's why you pay attention to risk. That's why we use like why do you think monthly expected moves work so well? If there was no manipulation of the market, then monthly expected moves should just like not really work out most of the time. I would love to see like a monthly expected move. We're gonna put out new monthly expected moves this weekend, guys. For Patreon members, all right. And we'll get those to you guys on YouTube over the weekend for the SPY and the Qs, but we'll have all the other ones. It'll be very interesting to see where those monthly expected moves lie. Like, what if we have a monthly move that's like right here? But then that means you'll have a coinciding monthly move that's at all-time highs. It'll be a very interesting, like, which one are we going to? Which one? My thing is, have we priced in these deals that are potentially coming? Yeah, they're trying heel toe. Both? You want to hit both? That'd be sick. Hey, that's the dip in the first week of June. That's scenario 3, right? Scenario 3 is the bear one, where everyone gets nice and bared up into like June, like like next Friday. Yeah, it is kind of hearsay, isn't it? It's kind of like we don't know, not yet. We did this month. That's the good part. We at least did this month. We can say thank you for that, but thank you to the monthly expected move for that. But now we're kind of at this turning point where it's like turn down or keep squeezing. We made another block just like the last time, where the 2-hour just confirms up. You're so close to the center line here. It's very important that this 2-hour bar does not confirm down. So there's no signal of reversal that's confirmed yet, at least for 3 to 5 reasons. What Deals you say? Deals is I don't know. They just the admin like Basent himself came out and said we'll have deals in the next couple of weeks. That was he said next 2 to 3 weeks. I believe that was about 1.5 weeks ago. So Palantir should be good. It's holding the lows. Boom. Wow. Yeah. Palantir's showing you some squeezability. I'm telling you. Palantir's built, man. It loses this low, man, could get bad, but as it makes the new high, you got to be inclined to be like, Palantir, baby. Palantizzle. Part of me still wants to look at Apple. Apple's got 5-minute stuff going on down here, man. Maybe I'll take a peek over at Apple. One more dip. Oh, that is just booming. I don't think that's exactly what you wanted to see. We need to see rejection. Oh, I think Apple will participate in some way. If you want to be truthful about it, I think Apple could take out this high. I think Apple could at least get to that high. I think retesting in this area makes sense. So I'll be looking for it. I'll probably look through some names and try to post anything maybe later this afternoon if I have like an hour. James, thanks for subscribing, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Oh, yeah, and buybacks will hit soon. So, okay. You want to look at Cava? We can look at Cava real quick, Nazim. Oof. Getting rough. Getting very rough. What do you know from these levels? Oh, God. Pathway lower. I cannot sit here and say, like, yeah, this looks good. I'm worried about this one for a 5 push down, another push down. Yeah, daily confirms up, but you have to see like amazing price action. It can continue to do shorter time frame stuff, but I think you're at risk of seeing a drop again. Watch if you break through $73 again. Because if you break through $73, you might head to 60 or even 56. Yeah, this could be another daily push down. And I would look for, like, this is still, like, if you're investing and you believed in the stock, you'd say, this is what? This is the lows, right? This is a low. So people might dabble here. You see the people that are dabbling. But if all those people get wiped out, you go down lower, like 58, maybe into here towards like 55. So I'd say, like, investing wise, as long as Cava, as long as the things you see are good, revenues are good, like going at least in a okay direction, not losing too much, anything like that. This is where you look at potential investments, But you can't tell me that you're excited about this. Like, I'm not excited about that at all. Weekly just rejected too. So maybe a weekly divergence shows up and then you're happy, right? Something like this. Boom, dink into here, dink towards 65. Don't lose like this level right here, but just dink down into here towards like 63, anywhere from like 60 to 65, 62 to 65. And then you see that start to turn around, make a new high, right? Start that uptrend. And then you're going to correct. And then you start that uptrend again. That would be insane. So I'd say, like, these areas are where you're looking for the turnaround for potential investment. I don't think it'll be the easiest to, like, option trade back and forth personally. Bitcoin was doing our pullback we wanted. Weirdly enough, you didn't get the 4-hour to break out. You got the 4-hour lower high. So just like the market right now, you kind of got a 4-hour lower high, and then we gave up those lows. We went down a little bit deeper, but we didn't do anything like crazy, right? We just went back down to these buyers. We went back down into this little block here. So we'll see if the 4-hour can get going. You do have like 2-hour that's extremely deep here. So Bitcoin is kind of suggesting, like, yes, we're going to continue this. If it gets aggressive though, what are you looking for? Like, what's the actual, like, opportunity? I can analyze and prove to you guys I know things all I want. When is Bitcoin good again? All I need to see from Bitcoin to be good again is some kind of confirmation to the upside on my MACD, RSI, or price action, or a breakout of this zone, right? A breakout through this high, and we try to ride that bad boy. For the time being, you don't have any reversal signals from your 4-hour chart. So this is suggesting that we're more likely to continue with some bounces here and there. And you have overall, with price action, done what? Lower high, lower lows. So until you make a new high, you can't really be back on the bull here, right? Until you do something like this, it can go very quickly back to bull. And this is a zone where buyers stepped in, right? So if this 4-hour is able to go positive and you're worried about that, you can always take a 4-hour and just look at the 2-hour rolls, right? Bitcoin, like, I don't think you can get in trouble for day trading Bitcoin, like, if you just buy it and sell it. But for now, you're getting your daily pullback. I still think that Bitcoin, if the market's going to pull back too, then I think Bitcoin might do the same and pull back into that, what did I say, 98.3. I like 98.3. So if we would just go wham, right? Maybe it's kind of a, and then you see divergence right here. Look for that. That's how we ramp up. I think that would be great. But like I said, if the 4-hour just curls up though, and it goes positive, you see a new high, Bitcoin's back on the bull for a little bit. But as of right now, you're breaking down. So you got to see if things change. This is actual, like, bearish price action. Like, this is bared up. If it's more than corrective, then you're going to see another rejection. That's how I would overall see it. If it's corrective, it might be done. SPY looks good. I mean, SPY looks good. You have a disagreement right now with technicals and actually, you don't even have that disagreement. I shouldn't even say that. You don't have it yet. You really don't even have the confirmation from technicals saying, like, yes, daily pullback is highly probable. You would prefer the market not to show you that, turn the 30-minute up and just be bullish, 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 and scream. You need it to scream. You don't want to see this. This is what you don't want to see today. That. Like, straight up that, and then you start to sell off. and then you confirm, and then you go down. You don't want to see that. That's what I think. If you see this, that would be better for bullishness later, right? I don't think you want to see this right now. But the Qs will be kind of your indicator of this, right? Because the Qs have a big point here. And if you get past that big point, yeah, you're very likely to continue. So what you want to see here from the Qs is like go up to weekly move or even daily move and then reject. That would be your sign of like, ooh, there could be weakness here still. Like that's what's sketchy about this time. It's like your technicals are showing you potential weakness like almost everywhere if you set it up like that. So that would be the worst case scenario for making a decision in my mind. Oh, if you're a scalper, you're probably happy, right? You scalp the morning even. You like the trading view I use? That's good. I just edited the stuff to make it like black. Super black. Everything's black. With a little bit of like brownish gray on the side. Yeah, Roger, thanks for asking, buddy. IonQ. IonQ ripped, but did it rip down? It's going into buyers. 30-minute would say there's pathways lower, right? We know that. 30-minute says we can go lower. 2-hour says watch if I turn around at any time. And 2-hour also was trying to dip into where? The buyers. Buyers, buyers, buyers. All the way, right? It's just, that's a huge amount of buyers. Do you see how positive IonQ is? So I'm pretty confident that IonQ makes another upward move. Will it happen now? I'm saying IonQ will most likely make a new high, I would say, in the next 2 months. It could take that long. That's why we want those extended options. Uber? Uber's got... Ooh. Uber could do something super interesting here. Because that's the 2-hour low, correct? Yeah, that's the 2-hour low and you're holding at it. Uber could do something really interesting here. Uber could do a higher low. That would be interesting. That would be the most interesting thing for Uber to do. It's just rocket ship, pull back, go again. That would be crazy. Then you extend it for another few pushes. But if Uber is going to run into problems, you could just drag up to here and reject it anytime in these sellers and then set up a divergence. So no divergence here and you're super deep. So your technicals are not happy here. It says wait for a higher low or wait for divergence. That's what it says for Uber on the 30-minute. The 2-hour is saying the same thing. It is more negative than you would like, right? As far as it stands, actually there is a little 2-hour higher low here. You broke it. You retested right to the bottom of it into sellers, and then you rejected. So that means you're down, but have you lost the critical level? No. Now, daily chart might be turned down, so you want to watch for those rejections. Right now, you're bared up. All right, you're bared up. You probably have a 5-minute divergence down here. Let's go look. You probably do. There's all your 5-minute divergence saying the 30 minutes going to bounce. Now, this 30-minute bounce that is most likely to come will be either to rip through the sellers or to reject off of them. Your job is not to be really a part of that unless you like risk. That's fine. It's your decision, right? But what you would like to see here before making that decision is the way higher and a higher low, or you would like to see the way lower that creates a divergence. And then down here you go, okay, we're going to attempt to take out this high. I'm going to get in early, right? So the trades are over here and over here. If you want to be safe, right? That's if you want to be safe with these things. I totally get it. If you're someone who likes to assume more risk than me, perfectly fine. Not going to hate on you for it. I'm just telling you how I would execute a trade with Uber right now, and it would be watch it. Maybe I'll take a look at it like next week. You need another like 2 trading sessions, like 2, maybe 3 trading sessions. And it's good. The daily is super, super positive on the MACD. I believe that's what I saw. Let me double check. The daily is super positive, I believe, on the MACD. right? Yeah, super positive. So this is very likely to continue. Now, the thing you're worried about, the reason that I like to wait for things, you can assume risk however you want to. The reason I like to wait for things is, are we going to come back into this area now? Or are we going to squeeze into the 20th and then set up that point where we actually start to roll, and then we do this later into potential like July, right? Like that's the thing I'm kind of like iffy about right now. When are we going to come back and test all this crap? Is it going to be now? Is it just going to take off? So what you would like to see here from Uber, if you do take an opportunity and everything looks good, is you would like to see Uber sky up, wipe out that divergence point on the RSI, so that the next time you're turning down, you're just doing the same thing. Same thing, right? And then constantly throughout, just watch for those divergences to form, and that'll tell you a little bit more about risk. Make sure you make a monthly expected move for next month. Today's the last day, so it's good to make your monthly expected moves like this weekend. All right? Very nice. Not bad. We see here the 30-minute is trying to confirm up into positive territory very soon, maybe even right now. So no, 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 says the 2-hour bar. No, 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 says the 2-hour. Use your link at work fun. Oh, you're talking like, oh, I gotta check, buddy. I like to say thank you. Hey, thank you for the 25. Appreciate that, buddy. Hey, thank you for that. Really do appreciate that, Josh. Or Joshua, whichever one you prefer. I appreciate that, big dog. And we got some new Patreon members. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Patreon. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Hopefully that analysis was good, right? It kind of, I tell you how I look at it. You can take that information, do whatever you want with it. But for me, I'm with you on the daily trend for sure, dude. I'm just looking for like, is this an opportunity